because I'm the only on here. So if she says it, I'm the victim of it. So please don't invite her for ratings to call me the N-word, because that's basically what it's going to be.
Hey guys, welcome to My Brother's Ballad. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Let's get into it. I'm sure you guys are well aware of the video that just came out with the young lady hurling the N-word at a 5-year-old. If not, let me remind you.
Call him a child? Did you call the child the word? It is my own business. You call him a Okay, why don't you have the boss to say it right now again? Okay. All right, that's what you say.
Well, isn't she a lovely woman? It always cracks me up when I see people in a video when they're trying to goat the person has already said the N-word. Like, how about you say it now? And then she actually does it and they're kind of like shocked. But just in how I was raised, you would actually have to prove to me that you're not like that. When you know history, you know that that's not uncommon, in my opinion. But her name is Shiloh Hendrix, the white woman who appeared to hurl a racist slur at a black child on a now viral video, has raised over $600,000 in donations for herself on a fundraising page. So not only is she disgusting, she has over $600,000 of donations of people that felt like that was perfectly fine and okay. So that was just a little background information for the real reason that I brought you guys here. And that is Piers Morgan decided to have a panel, host a panel about that particular altercation, but more so focusing on the fact that she was able to raise $600,000. And of course, they had Marc Lamont Hill on there, the guy from Fresh and Fit. He's a raccoon. And Lilly Gaddis, who is a self-proclaimed racist. Let's get into the clip because I was a little upset with the way Marc handled this. He handled it perfectly fine throughout, but there's one part that really just, like, why would you give them this? But let's get into it.
White people have been under attack for years. It's been systematic racism. As much as Black people and people of color want to talk about systematic racism in the United States, it's quite the opposite. They get preferential treatment when it comes to getting a job, when it comes to getting into colleges. White people, on the other hand, have been getting attacked relentlessly. Look at 2016 and BLM and all the riots.
We have been in this country, going on 500 years. I don't do the 1776. I am a 1619 kind of guy. And if she can only point to BLM in 2016 as white people being under the boot of the blacks, sis, your argument sounds ridiculous.
We just had to sit back and watch people burn down our cities and do nothing about it. So the way to fight back against essentially this anti-white hatred that's been systemically, ingrained in U.S. society is with white unity. We don't see white unity on
hang on. Okay, but hang on. Sorry, just to be clear, this has got nothing to do with anything you just said. This is a disgusting racist woman who repeatedly spews the N-word, first at a young child.
I can't believe I'm agreeing with Piers, but correct. It has nothing to do with anything that she just said. And then also, too, when she speaks about... my videos are somehow finding themselves into the MAGA sphere on YouTube. And please go down in the comments after you watch this video and tell me if you agree that America is systemically against white people. Because there's a host of stats that literally flies in the face of that truth for them. Because it's not a truth. Let me be very clear. It's not a truth.
Child. And then at the person taking the video of her, does it with complete impunity, does it numerous times. We are talking about a bona fide, unquestionable racist. And so I don't understand why what you've just said to me bears any relation to white unity or anything that you've just said. She's just a racist. End, isn't
it? No, Piers. That's what she's saying. That woman using the N-word against a 5-year-old black child that happens to have autism, to her, that is white unity. All those donations is white unity. I really appreciate people like Lilly Gaddis because she reinforces the belief and the truism that a lot of people of color, specifically Black people, have experienced at the hands of people like her, and also debunks people like Piers and people like Scott Jennings on CNN that will tell you that America is not a racist country. It has never been a racist country, only when they had that little problem with slavery. But other than that, no, everyone's equal. Everyone is on equal footing. Everybody has the same rights. Everybody's rights are executed in the same way. Black and white people are prosecuted for the same crimes at the same levels. Everything is right. Black women don't die at higher rates while giving birth. This is a very equal and safe, merit-based, non-racial divided country. Yeah, right.
Isn't she? You wouldn't dispute that.
It's not about her. It's not about her. It's about
Well, it is about
people
her.
coming together and supporting another white person, and it doesn't matter.
Why would you?
Again, she said it's not about her. It's about white people coming together and supporting another white person. Well, why are they specifically supporting her on this? I'm sure there were a lot of other white people that could have gotten support. When we see this type of white unity, it's always behind someone that has done something so reprehensible, like Jordan Neely, this young woman, Derek Chauvin, like all of these people. These are the ones that white people will build a GoFundMe for and then get all these donations for their legal defense fund.
Why would you want to support a white racist?
Because I want to support free speech, and you cannot have free speech in the country.
No, that's fine. You can support free speech, but you also have to be accountable for what you say. She is. I mean, would you use the N-word out of interest?
Yes.
You would.
Mm-hmm. I do quite frequently.
You use the N-word quite frequently. Well, why? Other than the fact you're a despicable racist, are you?
Some would say I am. I guess according to the ADL, I'm a white supremacist. I'm a neo-Nazi.
Piers and the young lady that's on the far right of the panel in the pink dress, they were so gagged. And Mark is like, well, yeah, she's a racist. Why are we shocked by this? And Piers is like, he asked the question multiple times because he's so shocked that she's admitting it. And I always say this. I love that we live in this time and people like her exist and they are honest about what they believe. I love that Donald Trump is in office because it allows people to take the hood off and say, like, yeah, I don't really like Black people. I'm not a fan. I'm racist. Yes, listen, my favorite type of racist is a loud racist. Tell me you're racist. I don't like the insidious type of racism. I want to know that the reason I didn't get the job is because you are extremely racist. I don't want to guess. Tell me. I love people like her. Stand 10 toes down on your racism because we know it. We know you are. Piers is just like gagged by her.
Yeah.
Well, if you use the N-word repeatedly, you are a racist, then, are you? Are you?
Sure, I'll embrace that. If that means forwarding, helping white people achieve freedom of speech, real freedom of speech, which, by the way, Shiloh Hendrix is being attacked on all fronts. They're trying to bring legal charges against her. They're trying to get her children taken away. So you were saying
her children should be taken away. Her children should be taken away. And people say, what? Well, we don't have freedom of speech. The country, like the government is just going to take her kid away because she said the N-word. It's not just about her saying the N-word. It's about her putting her child in a very unsafe environment. By her doing that and this video going viral, she's not making the best decisions for the safety of her child. I don't think that's very hard to get. If I'm walking down the street with my son, there is a certain level of let shit slide that I have when I'm walking with my son that I would not have if I'm by myself. If somebody was to say something disrespectful, my fuse is much shorter when I'm by myself. But if I'm with my child, I'm gonna let certain things slide because I understand that my child is with me and I'm not going to be able to defend myself, or he may be hurt within the process of me clapping back or whatever the point may be. So, yeah, I think our kids should be taken away.
Saying Carmelo Anthony, it doesn't matter. That's a different.
Sorry, but just to be
thing.
clear, you just said to me you use the N-word regularly. In what context?
Right.
You use it with black people?
Yes, if it's appropriate.
When would it be
She
appropriate
uses
to
it
use the
about
N-word?
black people.
When would it be appropriate?
Anytime I feel like it.
So you're an unashamed racist.
Correct.
Piers keeps asking this question like I don't know if he's more shocked that racism exists. I know he's not shocked by that. He's a white man. I'm sure the circles that he's in, he's heard some of the wildest, craziest ever. I mean, he's buddies with Donald Trump. Let's be very clear. And I love how Mark came in and said, no. She says it about black people. Stop trying to give her an out. She's being very honest. She's a racist. Why are you shocked? Don't be shocked. You're shocked?
Do you understand that makes you a despicable human being?
I guess so. I don't really care. I mean, why are we not talking about Shiloh Hendrix? Why are we talking about?
Well, actually, I think you've moved it on in this debate very quickly to your own racism, which explains why you've supported her in public and why you've got all these views. You see no problem with a woman shrieking the N-word repeatedly because you yourself are a despicable racist, and you've.
So I'm going to fast forward to the end of the video, just so you guys can see the part that kind of upset me with Mark, because I just do not believe in people getting a rise out of you that aren't worth it, especially when you know they're trying to get a rise out of you.
The thing with tribalism, it's a natural human instinct. Like, we are literally designed to want to be in communities and want to be a part of a set of community because it ensures our survival. It's been that way since the beginning of time. So the thing is that people are typically going to align with people that share similar features. And that's why we have the tribalism we have going on right now. So the problem is it's not going to go anywhere. I think the problem is that we've had this pent.
I think they're essentially what they're talking about, and this is something that Lilly, the racist, had said earlier in the video about white people supporting white people, black people supporting black people, and this is what they're talking about when they speak about tribalism. And I think Mark is actually going to hit on that. The difference between black people supporting black people and white people supporting white people, when you think about white nationalism or pro-white or whiteness, I should say, it is systematic. It is an exclusionary practice against so many other types of people in this country. So when you hear whiteness or someone being pro-white or white nationalist, it is nothing but the exclusion of people and their rights. Versus black people, there isn't really a systematic approach to being pro-black. Where when you're pro-black, that doesn't mean that you're anti-white. But when you are pro-white or pro-whiteness, you are anti-everything else but.
Up for literally decades, and this has been a response to it. You have people that are coming out and supporting someone who you guys might deem as a terrible racist, but I think it's also very important to understand how we got here, because if we're going to look at the smaller problem, we can't look at the bigger problem, and it's what I said before.
Do you see the color of this man's skin? This man saying what you may deem as a racist. Well, what the hell is she? What else could you deem her as? And then how we got here. Dog, we know the 500 years of how we got here. We know exactly how we got here.
Unchecked systemic.
All right, Marc Lamont Hill, your last words on this.
This repeated use of the word, I think, first of all, I want to just register that as offensive, particularly as someone who doesn't identify as a member of that community and who is not, right? I think that's incredibly
I'm the definition of African-American. I'm the definition of African-American.
And troublesome, and to as a Sudanese American or an outsider who's using African American, a very technical term, the same way that Elon Musk is an African American, I think it is a bit disingenuous. But the bigger issue here, I think, is that, you know, this idea of
exactly, because Fresh and Fit, Myron, you should not be using the N-word. You are not like us. And he said, well, I'm an African American. I'm an African American. Yeah, technically, just like Elon Musk is an African American.
Of equating of one side to the other side often loses track of this issue of power. To use his example, when Black people stand up and say, hey, let's build our own stuff. Hey, let's have a Black power movement. That is not the same as a white power. I'll let you speak uninterrupted. Let me finish, please. My Sudanese brother. So when a black person says, "Hey, let's preserve our culture," I have no problem with Italians or Irish people or anyone else saying, "Let's preserve our culture." But when we don't talk about ethnicity, but actual race, and when white people say, "Let's preserve whiteness," it's an exclusionary practice. It's about preserving laws and practices and tactics that do harm to other people. A Black Power movement was about opening stores and building businesses. A white power movement.
Exactly. White power movements are exclusionary, removing people out of the system.
A white power movement was about something very, 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 very different. A white power movement included lynchings and included Ku Klux Klan, etc. So let's not pretend that these are opposite sides of the same coin. When white people say, "Let's save our country," and even using the language of our country, when black people built this thing, when you say that, you're talking about forcing people out of the country. You're talking about laws that discriminate. You're talking about doing harm to people. Let's not pretend these are the same thing. Just like these GoFundMe campaigns are not the same thing. I'm okay if everybody gets out of the GoFundMe industrial complex. I'd love that. But let's not pretend that supporting someone for a fair trial is the same thing as supporting a grown white woman berating and calling the N-word to a 5-year-old autistic black child. And the fact that everyone in here.
And when he speaks about the other GoFundMe, he's speaking about Carmelo Anthony. He has a GoFundMe. He was the young man that got into the altercation, stabbed a white boy, and has been charged with, if I'm not mistaken, 2nd-degree murder. And he had a GoFundMe, and he raised a lot of money. And that is to ensure that he gets a fair trial. And people are trying to compare that to this white woman that called the young black kid an N-word.
Can't be unanimous in condemning that.
I totally
says
agree.
Exactly how they're not the same.
I totally agree. I'm going to go to Lilly Gaddis and just ask you one more time. I mean, you've been so unashamedly.
He want to ask her again, like, please change your mind. This is not good for my show. I spend all this time saying that a lot of white people aren't racist. Please change your mind. Please don't say you're racist.
Proud of being a racist today. Proud of using the N-word whenever you feel like it. You've had a bit of time to think about this. Is that how you want people to leave this panel debate, with thinking of you as a disgusting racist?
I don't really care what people think about me. As long as you care about what people think about you, you have no power and you lose your country. What I care about is freedom of speech. And if you're not allowed to say the most offensive things in this country, you do not have freedom of speech. I don't care what anybody says. So that's the main crux of this situation. That's what I care about with this situation. It is, we have lived for far too long in a country where you can have your life destroyed. And people say, "Oh, she doesn't need this money." Her life's destroyed, by the way. She'll never be able to get another job. She's got children to have to support.
And yes, that is free speech. And guess what? Free speech comes with consequences. Oh, well, do better.
And I don't want to live in a country where you can say an inappropriate, rude thing, which, by the way, black people can say things to white people all the time and they never get canceled. There's no backlashing about this. I want to live in a country where people are allowed to say what they want unashamedly. And you will
well, go
not
on then,
have
say it. Say
you
the
will
M-
not have
Go on,
free
say,
speech.
go on. Say the M-word. Go on.
No.
Hang on.
Invite. No.
No.
I don't want you to invite this woman to say a racially harmful term in front of me, because I'm the only on here. So if she says it, I'm the victim of it. So please don't invite her for ratings to call me the N-word, because that's basically what it's going to be. There's a bunch of white people up here, you and one Uncle Tom on the left here, and asking her to say the N-word while I'm here is ridiculous. You would not sit here with a Jewish person and say, "Please use a Jewish slur in front of this Jewish." It's ridiculous. I understand you don't have any bad intent, Piers. I understand what you're trying to do, but we already know she's racist.
Now, he did eat that up, because there's no way that they would allow a Jewish person to be on that panel, and then he go anti-Semite into saying a very harmful term to the Jewish community. Where I have such an issue with that, you see how the Tom next to him starts laughing, and then Lilly Gaddis, the racist, starts to laugh as well. They enjoy those types of responses. That's why they love to use that word against us, because we give it to them. If I'm walking down the street and someone calls me the N-word, I'm going to laugh because I know why you're trying to do it. You want to rise out of me, and you don't deserve that. I'm sorry, you don't. You're not worth my time. I'm better than you. I'm bigger than you. Like, who are you? And I don't know. I guess Mark must have been having a bad day, but you never give the enemy the chance to see you sweat. You never do. But again, I can only imagine what Mark may have been going through at that time. But Yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Please comment down in the bottom and tell me what you thought. Again, subscribe. Peace.